IDT clip, Professional Engineer International. First certificate at international level. Then it's another certificate of membership, fellow membership, Institution of Engineers India, भारत का इंजीनियर संस्थान. And then it's chartered engineer certificate, chartered engineer based on fellow membership, chartered engineer India, granted by Royal Charter of Institution of Engineers India 1935, which is equivalent to Constitution and Act of Parliament. And here are some handwritten scripts that are required to be discussed in technical talk. COVID-19 of course included as very important topic. Dear members, dear friends and all, good morning. This is, what I have shown, certificates of myself, Engineer Suraj Singh. I am now speaking from Bharat, India. Yesterday I recorded one video about professional engineering and various aspects of engineering profession that are conducted around the world and of course in our country, though our country lacks in many issues like that. I have put many URLs of past videos on text part of this video, which you can, if you wish, so that you may not ask where other videos are. Those videos including safety, that is called HSC, health, safety and environment, are available on that. If you wish and you think that it may be useful to you, you can go to see those videos and log in if required. I invite you to this talk because this talk is not an ordinary one. All talks what I am going to make here that relates to my educational knowledge supported by experience of around 40 years. Just because I'm just happy to share my experience with whole world, and in particular to our country. We call ours India, Bharat, because I want to see my country improve its quality systems, which is my top priority whenever I talk. Quality has no bound. Quality systems have no bound. It can be improved up to unlimited levels. We have to understand this point. And that's what I say title of this talk is. It starts with of course date, but it is civil, field engineering, general, designs, construction, organizations, communication, coordination, project quantity, quality, why should we be behind quality of concrete standard materials and concrete standard work. Contact number of this talk is 237 in professional list. There are so many talks of other issues. I also am very concerned with, you can say, top consideration of COVID-19 strain and variant, which is killing whole world. You may not be serious about that, but irrespective of your being non-serious, COVID has been working very efficiently. It started its work somewhere in December 2019 or November 2019, and that's why it has one name of 2019, and by chance name has 2019 or 19 COVID-19. It's not 20, it's not 18, it's not 21. There is something behind that which is of course related to numbers. I'll talk to you later on. But 1 and 9 combination is very important here. It's a question of entails authority, and lead or trail, or the question of 9, which is fire, which is struggle, which is delay. So it's a combination of lead, trail and its authority. We could not understand authority of COVID-19 till now, and its power, destructive power, struggling power. Everybody is struggling because of this. Destruction of life only life, not property. Just remember, destruction of life because of COVID-19, and it has showing its faces to colors like variant and like a strain and like you can say all I call COVID-19 plus. So COVID-19 is you can say at present the biggest weapon, spiritual weapon, or natural weapon, or you can say whatever you say, viral weapon that has come to earth to teach lesson to each of 8 billion people, and of course other non-human creatures. So we cannot just underestimate it, we cannot just ignore it, and we have to take into our consideration on priority level at top of everything, because if life exists, there is meaning of education. If life exists, there is meaning of profession, all other activities that are involved in life, your social life, your professional life, or your business life, or commerce life, or what political life or non-political life, or whatever life is constant life means, that requires your attention, and it can come to you only when you successfully deal with COVID-19. So far we have not been able to deal with COVID-19 successfully. Thousands of scientists throughout the world have failed so far just to let us know what is actually virus 19, or you can say COVID-19 is. To be very frank, I think a different way, where something you can't understand for months and for years. This means there is something very specific behind that that force, and that is God's power. I can say God's power. You may be surprised, but that's fact. That God's power does exist there, and it is doing what it should do. In our country, Bharat, India, people are not very serious, unfortunately. And of course, you can say it's not only our country, but also many other countries where people have been ignored, like England, like America, like many European countries. You can say Sweden, and like France, and like you can say Italy, and many more countries in Far East, and of course in other parts of the world where people have been serious. In Africa, you can say these people are don't have that much funds they can manage. But you see, you go to Brazil, North Africa, America, and say Brazil, and see what's happening. Somebody's calling Brazil has sent this to UK, and UK. Somebody say UK has sent it to Europe, and Europe says something like this going on and blaming allegation one upon another. Actually, it's humanity that is suffering and nothing else. Humanity has been suffering. We have to take this point into consideration. But humanity has to be saved. Humanity has to save itself. Nobody can save it. It means there is no other power that can save humanity except God. And you have to understand what God is. And God says that I am there. Don't worry. Don't ignore me. If you ignore me, I'll take action against you. You are my children. I have a right to be being parent. I can take action against you. That's what God says. This and stand alone. That's the point here we have to consider. It's not bad. It's always not bad. You can say that we have to understand. We have to understand what is required, what's not required. Means we have to see many considerations of every point. Life is different. Of course life is different. Before COVID came, there were some other diseases, but they were tackled successfully. What you're talking is something that is still beyond control, and people are actually, the whole world is nervous now. The stage of vaccination, it's a result of nervousness. Means you don't have answers for things. You just want to take immunity measures, want to just raise your standards, raise your power, so that you can fight with that disease. That's only objective by this vaccination. I'm not opposing this, but it's not final answers with discovered, answers with innovated, and that is to be done by scientists, and those people are dealing with the health workers and all those, and we have to support them all. That's what this requires. So if we are safe, everybody is safe, we can talk of profession, we can talk of life, we can talk commerce, we can talk of contracts, we can talk of whatever it is. Otherwise we cannot talk anything. Those people have gone so far from this world, and many millions, if even from USA, about 3 to 3 lakhs something have gone. 3 lakhs, or yes, they say 4 lakhs on a round figure. 4 lakh have gone, have lost their life from USA, and still around 100,000 from England, and our country has no limit. They are saying about 200,000. I say it's more than millions. So from all over the world, there is no limit, no concrete answer you're getting, but seriousness is there. As far as COVID is very serious, to be very frank. It came and captured minds of people. That's very important point. You understand or don't understand. Its first action is to capture mind, to occupy minds of people. If minds of people are occupied, people become mindless, thinkless, and it makes easy work of COVID-19 power. I call it spirit, I call it power. You may assume, you may laugh, you may do whatever, but it's a kind of powerful soul that's working all over the world. It's a group of souls and crores of souls are working together to beat humanity, to teach a lesson to humanity. Now, I'm a civil engineer for example, my education qualification. I'm a degree civil engineer. Before that, I was diploma civil engineering in 1974. I qualified civil engineering 3 years course from Delhi, and then in 1980, I qualified Section A and Section B of Institution of Engineers India. That is called IEI examination. Generally, it's called AMIE. I passed my AMIE in 1980, so I became equivalent to graduate engineer of BE or BSc or BTech, whatever you call it. And then I started my career in field. I left to Iraq. Then and after so many countries I visited for work. It's not a number of countries, just 4 or 5 or 6 countries I visited and worked there for many years, more than 20 years there. And I worked there in the other country as a consultant, as also supervisor for many years. And my civil engineering has been like a religion. Means I think in civil engineering as a religion, not as profession. I take engineering as my religion. Civil engineering, construction engineering, design engineering, all that. I think a lot on that. It's not just because I have to earn money or something. Money is second criteria for me. The first criteria is how to improve the system and quality. I'm finding in our country quality system and civil engineering construction is really very different quality of other equipments like machines, others, mechanical, electrical, all are affected by because of quality lapse. Quality systems, of course, do exist. IS 9000 exists, Sigma 6 exists, many other quality systems exist. But if you see results are not coming in, products are not coming to market to be. Products are, of course, certified by quality system registrars, but you are not getting products. Warranties are there, guarantees are there. But why warranty is required when your product is genuine? But you say, no, there is always required. What if a commercial, we can say, fine, it's okay, we have warranty systems, guarantee system. But why product fails? I saw many places, I experienced many places in past when you used to buy something, electric item or something. I used to work for long television, and now you just buy and see that there's a problem there everywhere. Why? Because quality lapse, quality doesn't exist, and that point is very important to be considered here. Why quality system doesn't exist? That point is very important. We have to consider this by heart, by mind, by everything. And that's why I'm sitting here to talk to you about this quality system. And quality system covers all, because quality is, as a system, it's involved with every sub-disciplines of engineering. It may be civil engineering, mechanical engineering, electrical engineering, or whatever other branch of engineering. You can say quality system is dominating. And if you constitute a system, though it was not a system before, if you go 20, 30, 40 years back, you say that there was no system. I used to work in 1985 on some project, there was no such system, but quality was a question mark. Planning was a question mark. Quantity was a question mark. All system involve quality somewhere. It's not simply quality control involves quality system. Quality system is involved in planning. It's involved in safety. It's involved in construction. It's involved in design. It's involved in commerce. It's involved in tendering. It's involved everywhere. Or you go to shopping, you'll find quality system. You go to some factory, you'll find quality system. You go to railways, you'll find quality system. Some quality system is meant for as an objective to be achieved, but even after application of quality system, are we getting that? Then is review is required. That review is very important. Quality requires improvement and improvement and improvement. Every time improvement. As much as you can improve, that's called quality upgradation, and that's very important. The point is we have to understand that. I am from civil engineering, doesn't mean I can't talk about others. I can talk in preliminary for electricals and regarding mechanical and all that. Because life is that you can't simply say I am civil engineer, I am electrical engineer, I don't want to talk something else, I don't even know. You have to, because when I studied civil engineering, I have to study electrical engineering, elements of electrical engineering as well. I have to study applied thermodynamics, I have to study mechanical engineering, I have to study labor relations civics, I have to study and so many other subjects which were not directly related to become social sciences. I studied the social sciences, sociology, economics, and you can say many other things, sociology, economics, microeconomics. Means this is because encroachment. This is not called encroachment, this is called interconnection. You have to interconnect with other disciplines so that you know what about this. For example, I have my brothers and sisters, my siblings and parents are there, and I have to know about it. Doesn't mean that this is my own. It's my own because they are my family members. Same way, whole engineering is a family itself. When God created this universe, God didn't think this is the other way. God thought one way, and I have to create this universe, or many universes, thousands, billions of universes, and accordingly He created mathematics, He created design formula, He did, and we cannot say what God created, but God did a lot in that, so that we are sitting on Earth. And Earth is just 12,500 kilometers diameter, if it's 13,000 kilometers diameter, and we are sitting on this, enjoying this Earth life for decades till we leave this Earth, and we come to this Earth, we leave this gap, we enjoy this life, but we never think of this. We never think of this. And we forget whatever we do in engineering, construction, or engineering machines, or in electrical, or whatever it is, the electronics, or something. You are using earth. Without use of earth, you cannot do anything. That's fact of engineering. Hard fact, solid fact, undeniable fact. Even if you don't accept, you have to accept. Silicon chips, where does it come from? Where silica comes? Do you know that? Silica is soil. Mineral, it comes from there. Mineral forms, silica, clay, tetrahedra, this and that. Everything you are getting in name of economy, you are getting from earth. Economics talks about coming in GDP on that. What does it mean? From where does it come? How do you know that? God has enriched earth with material. That's why I call earth material. Earth is a material in every sense. I can't say no. No one can say no. It's a fact of life. Earth has water, earth has minerals, earth has chemicals, earth has, you can say, rocks, earth has all kinds of rocks. Igneous rocks, sedimentary rocks, metamorphic rocks. Metamorphic rocks not originally available, igneous rocks is original. It comes from within earth. Volcano. Volcano, you can't say I am going to start a volcano. You can't start a volcano, it's natural. No one in world can say I can create a volcano. You can neither create volcano, nor you can create sedimentary rocks, nor you can create metamorphic rocks, but also you cannot create earth. Something that we cannot create means we cannot talk about this. No, we can talk about that. We understand that. Understanding of nature is called science. When you make some system by understanding, by observation principles. If you make something, understand, so it drives something, we can say it is science. And science means you know about nature. When you know about nature, you can title that thing which you understand by justification, by logical understanding, by scientific understanding. You can justify that. You can say, you can claim, yes, it is. That is called science. And until science is not done, until we create science, it's called knowledge. So knowledge and science move together. And science gives you further science. Science gives you further knowledge, further subgrade of knowledge, and that's called applied science. Science which you understand by principle, by formula, and we apply that in life just to understand something, just to read it, or just to corroborate something else, is called engineering. So science and engineering are interrelated. Engineering creates science, applied science, and science creates engineering, means both are together. Science is by observation, but engineering is based on logic, calculations. Without calculation, there can be no engineering. Fact is that you cannot do engineering without calculation, without logic, and without scientific principles. There can be empirical formula, of course, but that too must be justified, that must be observed and verified and validated. Maybe by examples, by number of, you can say, statistical calculations. We can say, okay, if I use this formula, the results comes. Okay, so we call it empirical formula, not derived formula. So derived formula and empirical formula have certain different understanding. When you use parameters of something defined, you come to some conclusion after applications that this is formula, it's a logical formula. It's not in my hands. This is according to calculations, and I converted this calculation, that calculation, this unknown was made known, and that's called derived formula, and which are used just by experience and by many trials, and that's called empirical formula. So we should believe both, and we have to depend on both, but derivation is more important because this is its own way justified. You need not justify that. You should just know procedure of derivation, and you can say, okay, fine, sine squared plus cos squared is 1, I can derive it, right? In trigonometry, you know what is trigonometry, sine square, cos, where triangles are measured, angles are measured in terms of sine and cos, and we use that for calculation purposes called trigonometry. Right triangles actually have trigonometry. Right triangle, which is the 90 degree plus 40 by 40 for some other, and one is 90, and thus right triangle creates actually, you can say if a 3 is the base and 4 is perpendicular, you can say 5 is hypotenuse, 3, 4, 5 is trigonometry. 4 square plus 3 squares under root, that's called 5. This is 25 square, and it's called trigonometry. There's a basis of trigonometry, but the basis of mensuration is countings. So the basis of something else is something x, y, x value of x, value y comes to algebra, you'll find that one. That way you can say we create systems. All these are systems, actually call them subject, but actually they are systems. In English, for example, literature. of English. This language itself is a system because there's some structure. There's some structure in Sanskrit we call it system. There's structure in Hindi language we call system. It's everywhere in all world over. You will just enter in some structure defined. Same way, say engineering is a structure because when you go to learn engineering, you have to do engineering, learn the definite system. How you start learning and how you end learning, and how from start to end, how many subjects you have to learn, that depends on your engineering system, which engineering branch you are studying in, and how many subjects you are studying and what level of subject you study. Means these should be applied in your life. It's not simply say I just study engineering, I can't apply it. If you can't apply that, means you haven't learned engineering, you have learned art, or which arts can't be applied directly. Similarly, literature can be applied directly, but you say no, I have learned engineering and I'm going to apply that. I'm applied scientist. Okay, fine, you applied scientist, you must do it. Fine. Okay, well, now we're coming to point back to our own subjects, and this title is saying we have many aspects in civil engineering. This call, you can say, feasibility report is very important. When you start a project, it's not simply I dream and I have a project, I start. It's not like that. You must have clear conception of what you're going to do. You have money, you have to invest that on some project, and that's first point. You have some money or some resource, some financial authority that you can use that for purpose of future earning, a future development of your nation, or where you are, the development of some system, a development of some approach, a product which is going to be used by people and directly one machine or somewhere else. And whatever your project is, you have to take risk of that, and risk, financial risk, and you can say other risks together, and that's where you have to, you need something for that. So when you start some engineering product, for example, building engineering project, and you can say oil refinery engineering project, you can say there are subsidiaries, and there are so many others. You can say there are so many railway lines and roads and bridges and all the ways. There's no limit to that. Agricultural engineering. Do you think it's engineering? Maybe people do not know, but it's complete branch. It's very well developed branch. Agricultural engineering. Agriculturist. Agriculture is agriculture itself. It's called culture. It's culture, something that has been working for centuries and for millenniums. You can't even imagine when did this agriculture start. Can you think so? When the field work start, can we imagine today? When did we start agriculture? If you go to whole old times, we can say okay, this is not proven, but we can say in Satya Yuga, or in before that in other yugs, or when this whole universe started from something unknown or something non-existing, this started, and that time too this field work was done. Story of existence is, story of evolution is, apple was taken by ape. Where did apple come from? It came from nature. So nature is a culture itself, agriculture. So this agriculture we by name called culture, but all other engineerings must be converted to culture. It doesn't matter, everywhere should be calculations, but I'm talking of mathematical calculations. There should be other calculations as well. That's also a point to understand. It's not simply mathematical calculation we should die for. No. It's other calculation. Suppose there is some English language with you or some other script with you, and you are going to understand, is analyze that language, say I got this answer from this, I got this interpolation from this written script, and that's what you are calculating actually. Analysis of text itself is calculation. You have to, sometimes one word gives many meanings, and sometimes one sentence gives many meaning, and sometimes one whole book gives many meanings. Those meanings are important. Those meanings based on your mind, my mind, everybody's mind. We have to take this major point into our script. Means out of many scripts, new script has to come in, has to build in. That's where we see. Calculations. It's very important word. People run away from calculations. I don't know why. Yes, some people are short of knowledge of mathematics. Some people do not want to, for them it's too boring. Calculations are too boring. For some, calculations is horrific. Means, I can't do it. It's not, never did it. I never understand this. You understand your life. Life itself is calculation. Do you know that? If you start from beginning when you're born and go to end when you're dying, it's the whole land, whole vista 60, 70, 80, 90, 100 years, it's all calculation. You have constructed a day, 24 hours. You have constructed an hour, 60 minutes. You have constructed the minute, 60 seconds. Okay, this is acceptable. It may be 60 seconds or whatever. We construct ourselves as a human being. We construct 365 days a year and 30 or 31 days a month, 7 days a week. We constructed everything. What is that? Is that not calculation? That is unit of calculation. Unit to calculate something, to drive something. So calculation is part of life. It's a part of life. Solar system is existing. Whole universe is existing. Everybody is existing. Something you can say can do without calculations, without parameters. I don't think so. Everything depends on parameters. We can't go otherwise. Parametric calculation is very important, or if there is no parametric calculation, then it is isolated calculation. You apply some parameter or no parameter, calculate it. You take on your own. My height is this. My weight is this. Right? Size of my head is this. In proportion to the size of my nose is this. If say my head is this and my nose is like this, can you accept that? My head is say this much. And I say, no, my nose should be not this, it should be this much. Nobody will accept that. Oh, my leg is raised there, how many? 1 meter height. Okay, your leg is 1 meter height. You say 10 meters then. Shall you accept normal being? Nobody will accept. Oh, devil it is, or don't know, dinosaurs it is. That's why, dear, don't run away from calculation. Try to grasp it. Calculation. 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 Very serious matter. If you can't understand something, calculation shall teach you. If you can't understand something, calculation shall teach you. This is what engineering says. This is what mathematics says. Mathematics is the root of engineering. Mathematics is the walls and columns of engineering. Mathematics is the slab of engineering. Mathematics is everything. Yes, if you take medical, it's something else. If you take law into your hand, it's something else. Law is different. It doesn't relate to mathematical calculation, but it also relates to social calculations. It relates to rituals. It relates to norms. It relates to values. It relates to culture, custom, humanity, emotions. Though there is no emotion in law, but law understands emotion and emotion understands laws. Every country has a system. That's based on calculation. That's my observation in life. So if you observe something, you find somewhere calculation. You observe sun or sun rises in the morning every day and it sets in evening. You say that because you look like that. You view it like that. You observe it every day. Like it's also 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock in the morning, I'm going to see sun starting. Sun is still there. It's not starting. Sun never goes somewhere. Because of rotation of our planet on which we are living, rotation of that, 2 rotations, perpetual rotation as well as objective orbital rotation around it, we find number of days, we find hours, we find everything, and of course we get years together. You know it very well, you must have heard in your subject somewhere, but I'm just refreshing and just recalling that you heard this one. Because this is calculation. Calculation gives answers for every problem. If you go to shop and buy something, give some money, how much you'll get, that's calculation. You take 100 rupees note, go there, buy this item will cost you 33 rupees, or customer or what you call it, shopkeeper says, I give you 33 rupees, you give me 100 rupees, you must know how many you get back, and also shopkeeper must know how many rupees he has to give you back, right? And say none of these to know what to do. When my mother sometimes, mathematics used to say, okay, keep one note here, one note here, one note here, one note here, and count how many, because she knew up to some 20, 25, 30, and okay, this is so much. That's also calculation, though she didn't know that, but she put somewhere, okay, this calculation. Means when putting somewhere like this 1 1 1 1 1, this is a system. Means some system is somewhere. When it's count 0 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9, we count it like this, no, and then go to 100 and come back or to count tables and all that. We do that. That's all calculation and that's all system. So engineering is built up of system. It's a pool of systems, different mathematics, different formula, different this and that. We understand that. And those formula give you design, those formula give you all results, all deliveries of designs and drawings and all that. And for example, you take X-rays, we use medicals. What is X-ray? There is some relation of X-ray to calculation or not? You mean how it is? There's no mathematics in that. No, there's mathematics. Waves are there, radiations are there. Those radiations are mathematical terms. The chemistry and mathematical terms are there. Have you studied chemistry? You'll find that this molecular weight and this elemental weight and this and that. H2 itself, what we call two values, two power, how it does the parts of hydrogen, oxygen, and like that otherwise. So my dear friends, though it's engineering talk, but calculation is basis of engineering. Doesn't mean you should know mathematics for that. You should understand mathematics. That's most important. I tell many, please, if you don't worry about mathematics, you don't know, there now software is available. You can, you understand what should be result. If you don't understand result, you can't corroborate your work because you have fed some data into your software. For example, you can say worksheet or some else, a calculator even. You have data, feed data, and now you should know what result should be approximately. If you do not know that, you will say, oh, you won't trust even result. And that's where mistakes often do happen. It happens. That we don't know what shall happen, but we say it should be like that. Well, life moves on like this. Everybody knows that. Life is moving, shall be kept on moving, and we can't stop it. If you stop it, you stop everything, you stop it. Life can never stop. It has to move. No one can stop it because this is life. Our subjects are many. For example, we have a subject like here, we call it construction and foundation engineering. This is a very important subject in our world. This is a very important subject, construction and foundation engineering. And we can say that this is very, very important. There are many others also, and others also. I don't have cover page of that one now. So my say, what are you? I'm just selecting something. For example, I say I want to discuss something about projects. For example, I say I want to discuss project engineering and management or organization. I discuss with this. And FIDIC is a contract definition. I discussed the concrete, we discussed the COVID video. We have discussed like this, and I usually have to discuss this much. No, because I'm just starting with something new. Not new means I missed something for many couple of months or many months, and I was delayed. I was not sure to come back to you because of my health problem, but now I think gradually in installments I'll be back to you, just because I want to talk to you and you talk. Maybe you don't respond. I know people are not responding because maybe either they are not understanding, oh, my English is very bad, they can't understand. Well, I can't help it, I can improve only. Maybe I speak too fast to you, you don't like it, or I can't speak in Hindi all time because Hindi is limited to word. Means I want to communicate my talk to whole people, all people of world. So at least English gives some room for everybody to get in, and that's very important. If English is used, is meant for that. Now, it doesn't mean wherever you are, but my English is also not very difficult, can't be understood. I think it should be now. No, yesterday I was talking about engineering, and also I have given some time to COVID as well, and I'll again say take care against COVID. It's very dangerous, and we have as human to save ourselves and everybody else. So now engineering itself is very, very beautiful term. You know what is engineering? It's application of your mind, actually. Application by your mind, application of your mind, application of your contemplation, application of your thoughts, application of whatever. Even though you are not engineering qualified, but you can apply your mind if you are intelligent, brilliant, calculative, and you know processes, then it's also called engineering. When somebody comes to your home, it's a repair, I repair a television, I repair this, what do you call it, oven, electric oven, a microwave, and these equipments are advanced. They were technological based. Those who come to your home, you call them technicians, whatever. But they know at least a small item, small parts understanding, and they are also engineers because they know technical parts. They know. So of course they're not very high rise engineers, but they are to some extent technical people, and they are also engineers. For example, we say, oh, this person is locomotive driver, this person is, diesel engine driver, this person is metro driver. We don't call them driver. In fact, they are also an engineer. Some pilot is an engineer. Like this, those who deal with technology, they are called engineers. So our people, for example, mason, or you can shuttering carpenter, or you can say formwork carpenter or welder, they deal with some kind of technical items, technical formula, technical leads. I call them also to some extent technicians. You cannot simply say, oh, you are hard-working labor, you don't use your mind. Please don't say that. Yes, they use mind, not to that extent, but a mason gives you a plastered surface, rendered surface, tiled surface, flooring, all that. That person works hard physically. Of course, 70% works is applied in physical mode, but 30% is applied in application mode of application of technology. How to check the wall is in vertical mode, wall is in plumb, when this bricklayer course is laid, are really horizontal, or in line, or in plumb. How much mortar is to be added? That's all point which constitutes, this based on, you can say, technical procedures, technical formula. House plastered done, rendered done. It should be thickness is this much, ratio is this much, cement mortar is water is this much, and then it should be plane surface. Like plane means verticality must be accurate, horizontal layers must be accurate, and whatever work they do, that is involved directly to technical and engineering procedures. So you should call them with respect. Yes, they are not literally graduates, but what they do, you cannot do. Even engineer cannot do what they do. When I was in university or in college, in my polytechnic, we were forced to take your soil and your mortar and your sand and cement all by hands and put somewhere. There was a wall in our polytechnic. We used to break every year. Okay, make it. Means we had to do something which we never expected that we do in polytechnic. But we were taught how to lose your shame angle. Do not shy. You are in field. You are going to produce something productive forever. Your product is not for 2 or 3 years. Your product is for ever, say 50 years, 100 years, till that building survives. Your product, your work survives. So you are a wall constructor or a floor finisher or whatever you do structural work or you do some other work, that work is going to stay for decades together. It's not simply food item you go buy it and eat and throw that on which you put that item. We should be proud of that. Our workers, I mean to say those I just referred to, and our supervisors as well as engineers must have a degree of pride in themselves. See, my work stays forever. This is a degree of pride. It's not 1 or 2 days. Even a car stays only for 5 to 10 years maximum. A truck stays for 5 to 10 years maximum. They are gone then. They are rejected after that. This means there's limit. But civil engineering products stay forever. Forever means for 50 to 100 years, 100 to some other years. Examples are there all over the world. You will find those projects. Those products, of course, retrofitted, of course, but they are still working. For centuries they have been there, and still they are there. So we can't say something else. You can see Taj Mahal, you can see Red Fort, you can see Eiffel Tower, you can see London Bridge, or you can see many others, Howrah Bridge, and you can see in Delhi, Old Delhi Bridge, Trans Yamuna Bridge. All are there which have been for more than many decades, and they have been still there. What does it mean? It means our product has long life. Long life. And that is what's very important part in construction. In construction engineering, design engineering, we have to think that my product is not going to stay only for 2 weeks or 3 weeks or some other time. It's not consumable item. My product on other ways to be defined as non-consumable item, which is a product that will have long life. We say long live. We say in wishes long live, but we live long. Our products live long. We have to understand this. When we say he's giving good wishes, live long. Let us live long. You live long. But here we are making something that lives long. It's not question of wish only. We are giving engineering of live long, engineering to live long, this product to live long. It's very aspirational, I can say. It's very important point. Those who understand, fine. Those who can't understand, they will understand some other time. For example, a book. You print a book, you write some book, and this stays for 60, 70, 80, 100 years. That's also a product. Means a book is a product. The person has died. People are reading book. Of course, it is re-edited and it is reprinted, but it stays for unknown period. So your work is book. You maybe legally you are not author of that building, but design is yours and methods are yours. You should feel that you have done it. So engineer should change his mental status. Don't consider you are dealing with soil. You are dealing with dirty metals like cement which sticks to your hands. You are dealing with bricks or stones and steel and all that. All these metals are long-lived items. Once the cement is used in work, it lives for many decades. Though until it's used, means until that time you have to keep it safe in storage, otherwise it will spoil itself because it is chemical. Cement is chemical. It's combination of lime, clay and many more chemicals. So once you don't use it, you keep it as it is, it will certainly perish. All other matter shall perish. Dust also shall perish by force of rain, by force of the dusty storms. Similarly, all other matter until brought to use for permanent works, once it is used for permanent works, it is for their, like your baby. Means you are going to produce your mind-based, materially used, materially created babies. Every brick wall is your baby, every column is your baby, every beam is your baby, every slab is your baby, every curing part is your baby, and this baby will not move. Even if you like to move, it will not move. It is such a strong baby, it won't listen to you, it will do its job. Means you are going to produce long-lived babies which do not listen to you as well, won't listen to you, those babies. Why should they listen to you? They have their own power. Your baby is powerful in that case. Oh, my baby is having so much power. It's very powerful. I should not worry about that. My baby takes care of itself. So your baby is self-dependent since beginning. Since its birth, it's your concrete you lay. It takes its own care. You need not worry about that. Only thing, only issue, only requirement is just put some water on that. It shall take its care. Brick, once you use it, it will take its care. Don't worry, it will fight with atmosphere. Once you treat it, it fights with air, it fights with sun, it will fight with everything. Same thing concrete and same thing steel and aluminum, all those which materials you go to use in engineering. So engineering, though it's the science of mind until it is done. It's science of mind until it is applied with. And once it is applied, it has nothing to do with, it is its own movement, its own property, its own nature, its own culture, its own universe. Its own universe. We only understand relations between various materials. We cannot make material, remember. You and I cannot make materials, but we can use materials. Even we cannot make soil, we cannot make oil, we cannot make, you can say, any material that is we use in our world. We have to understand this very common and general point. What we can do, we cannot do anything you can say. That point is very important. I will just rise because my leg is passing. I'll just rise for a few seconds or minutes so that I can relieve my leg from this problem. Problem is that I'll just stand and see something. So my dear friends, life is not what you think is. It's something different. So why I'm talking about engineering means maybe you have never heard what I'm talking. It's different, but it's a fact of life, that what we do in our world of engineering is something which people even cannot conceive in. Engineering, every engineer thinks a lot. If you are an engineer, you must think a lot. And if you don't think a lot, then you cannot do a lot. It's not simply job. Don't consider engineering as a profession or a job. Engineering is neither a profession nor a job, though it is profession otherwise. It is profession because you are creating something and people are using that and you are paid for that. And you don't worry about payment. Payment would come or not come, that is different aspect. But engineering is a profession, or you can say it's a field where you create something which already is created by someone else. You created something using materials, but materials are already there. They exist in the universe. They exist on earth. Water exists, clay exists, soil exists, and you can say material in form of ores, they exist beneath our earth surface. You use them. You use your mind, which is also available. Your mind is available since you were born. It has been there. It was there. It developed. What developed? Organic matter developed that. You consume food. You consume fruits. You consume wheat. You consume pulses. You consume vegetable. All this aided to your mind. So your mind is organic power. Your body is organic power. But these materials which you are going to use or you use in engineering, all are not organic. Organic power is not allowed in engineering. Though there is engineering for organic power and that's called agriculture engineering, and that is organic one, but that is not considered. That's not what you say. So what I am saying is, we may say, we may not say, we may agree, we may not agree, but fact is that we should respect nature. As an engineer, I should respect nature, because whatever I use in my work, in your work, in field work, that is really very interesting. And without that, I cannot move even a single centimeter. I can say I cannot move a single centimeter. If these materials are not there, say iron ore is not available, for example, clay is not available, for example, how shall I produce bricks? How shall I produce, you can say, RCC? How shall I use steel? It's now, if there is no iron ore, you cannot get steel bars. You cannot get roll joists. You cannot get anything. And if there is no water, you cannot do anything. So nature has given me everything. It was my duty as human being, as scientists or as engineers, to explore these things, and they explored. Engineering was not done, it's not created in one day. It has taken centuries and millenniums to do it all that. Agriculture has been there since beginning, and from one way or other way, people have been working on that and we consume. But agriculture is day-to-day requirement, hour-to-hour requirement. But engineering is not day-to-day requirement. Engineering is long-term requirement, and this cannot be refreshed. This cannot be regenerated. This can be, of course, retrofitted, this can be reevaluated, this can be overhauled, but this cannot be reproduced. Once you do block work, brick work, RCC work, you can't remove that. You can demolish that, of course, but you can't dismantle that. You can't dismantle RCC. You can't dismantle building. Not possible. Yes, there are temporary structures which are meant for that purpose, that you can dismantle, you can do your way. But engineering is a permanent work. Of course, there are temporary items in engineering, there are, but it is ultimately permanent work. Permanent work because it's more than 30 years, 40 years, 50 years, 100 years, 200 years, you can say it's long drive, long drive. So your work is long drive, and you are not going to spend time on thinking about that. How it is possible? If you are not going to think on that, contemplation is not done on that, you can't do good engineering practice. Think of money only is not an answer. I'm thinking how much money I'll get because of this. That is not real engineering. What you get is different. What you get is different. It's nothing to do with permanence of that work. Once you say, you have done this, you spent so many hours on this, don't worry about that. You spent hours not on this, it's not your hours, it is work hours. As many hours you devote on that, you will get better results. And that is done. That's a part of research operation, research design, research execution, research procedure. You can constitute, you can design, you can make many procedures of one item in different ways. And that's where you'll save time, or you make better quality, and you save material and use material in best way, in optimum way. That's what is required in engineering. Why I am saying all this? Because I have understood this after many decades. What does engineering mean? Engineering is not football, cricket. No, it's not. It's a game of one day or it's a game of 2 hours like that. It's not that. No. You are going to play with material nature produced. You are going to spoil material that was produced after many millenniums. We have spoiled oil, right? We have spoiled oil that has took a long time. Fossil fuels were used, were converted by nature to oil. And we have used this just in driving. How cruel we are as human beings. How cruel we are. We have to understand this point. How cruel we are. We are very cruel souls. We burn oil by driving 2 billion vehicles every day. And for many decades we have been doing this. In our country, Bharat, we have been driving 35 crores vehicles every day. And you know how many millions air conditioners, how many millions generators we have been driving every day. We have been burning petrol, diesel every day to unknown quantities. From where it comes? It comes from inside earth. I don't want to define earth because you know it very well. Earth is your mother and my mother and everybody's mother, because we are born on this and we are living on this and we shall leave this one day. Till that time it's our mother and shall be our mother. It's not physical mother, it's physical entity. It is physical entity. If you agree this or you don't agree this is fact of life. Irrespective of what religion you believe in or what you don't believe in, that is something else to do with this. But it's fact of life that it is our mother. We can't deny this fact. Let me sit down now for another half an hour because it's my problem and you have to bear with me, because after all, I know what to do with this. So my dear friends, I am not very rich. I have been involved in engineering since 1974, and to be very frank, absolutely since 1981 when I qualified my degree. You can say what I was observed in my life, my career, that stop counting how much you are earning. That's not major point. Counting doesn't mean in engineering anything. You see, if you count something, how much I'm getting, as a system these days exists, how much you're getting is more important how much you're doing. Yes, you will get money. Money is something else. Means if you cannot keep money as your absolute criteria to measure your value. You cannot keep that, yes, because money, those people who don't have any degree, they make more money than you can. Right? Those people who never ever think they get more money. So money hunting or work of engineering have no relation. If you want to do engineering because you want to measure it in relation or scale of money, then you are wasting your time. Then better don't go to engineering. Engineer doesn't mean that so many engineers we have so many engineers. How many real engineers are there? That's the point. If you want to study engineering, you study engineering and go to MBA examination or management or to somewhere else, you are wasting your energy and you are wasting others' energy. What you did for 5 or 4 years in their engineering, you are wasting that as well. So you are harming yourself and you are harming society. You are harming time. Time does not need money. Time cannot be measured in terms of money, because time itself is money. Though it's not currency, time, it's not currency, it is something else, but value it is. Value is more important than something else. Now, what I understand, engineering cannot be taken as a profession. That's what I say. Engineering is not a profession. Engineering is sentimental work, though it is physical work, but it relates to your sentiments. Being an engineer, it's always your wish to produce best results, to produce best design, to produce minimum cost work. Everybody has a duty to think that way. You may be designer, you may not be designer, you may be a side person, you may be some other, you may be in marketing, you may even be in procurement. Wherever you are, your procurement is not easy. Engineering procurement is not easy. It involves technology, it involves its specifications, it involves quantities, it involves how to do it, it involves time factor, project time, and it involves on top of that compatibility with other items if these are related to other items, compatibility. So are you able to understand that? Yes, every procurement engineer knows it. Knowing is one thing, but before becoming engineer you have to understand it. You cannot live like, and you cannot say that I do not study it now, I will study later on. Question is not book study, question is of understanding. Understanding of facts, what you can understand by what I am saying. Maybe you don't accept now this point. You may accept one day when time comes. You may accept. That day is not far away. But once you are an engineer, even then you have to understand this. Because engineering is not what you do. Engineering is what you think, I can say. If I say in brief, what is engineering? What is job of engineer? In brief, in one line, in a few words you can say. What is engineering? Can you think? Forget everything else. Just think yourself as a common person. You have no answer. You have to answer. Because you are a thinker. What does thinker do? Think. Think. T-H-I-N-K. Think. Can you think? Can you think? You say, I always think. Yes, you always think. But can you think about what is engineer? What is engineer? Yes, my answer should be, I think something to do and do it. I think to do it and do it. Means think, do, deliver. Is not minimum, smallest definition. Is that? Think, do, deliver. Oh yes, it is. I think, I do, I deliver. Example. I am thinking for some poem. Oh, I got it. I write it. I announce it. Poem is engineered. What is poem is engineered? Yes. Poem is engineered. Plot is engineered. I think how to do it. Oh, I do it. What? Yes. For example, I want to make a liquid, hot liquid. Okay. I make tea. I think how to make it. Oh, I make it different way. Just boil water and put some tea hanger in this, and it's done. Oh, black tea. Yes, Suleimania. It's engineered. Tea is engineered. Black tea is engineered. Tea with milk is engineered. Chapati is engineered. Vegetable is engineered. This is all engineering. What? Are you crazy? Oh yes, I am crazy, because being crazy is also engineering. I am getting crazy by excitement. I am getting crazy by excitement only. What I am going to do? Thinking. It's thinking. It's contemplation. Contemplation, yes. What is contemplation? Oh, you don't understand what's contemplation. What sort of person you are? Contempt means a kind of concentration. And templation means some kind of profile, some kind of format. So, concentration on some kind of format. This article word. Article meaning? What's article meaning? Oh, you don't understand article meaning? You're arts person. You don't understand article meaning. Something meaning you know by its prospects, by its you can say profile, by its methodology. That is called art. Art of doing, art of thinking, art of working, art of conducting, art of making fools all others, or art of making yourself your own fool. It's all art. Happy, make you happy. It won't ridicule you, not at all. What are you talking of? I do. Stupid. Oh, is stupid also a art? Stupid. Is stupid also something very important? If you are stupid, you are very good, because at least you are stupid, you are not mad. You are not mad, you are stupid, you are idiot. You should enjoy this. It's called entertainment engineering. Entertainment engineering? That's a film. Oh no, that's boring engineering. Something logical or illogical that makes you happy is called engineering. Oh, yeah. I thought something. I was feeling very bored. Some idea came to my mind. I was behind that idea. I've been following it crucially, and I got conducive answer from that. I made it more conducive, and I am happy now. My strain has gone from my head. I am feeling relieved. That is engineering, thinking engineering, contemplative engineering. That's what I say. Do not limit engineering to branches of engineering. Engineering is at every point. To do something intellectually is called engineering. To conduct, to do, to deliver something positive or negative is called engineering. You are saying positive or negative? You believe in negative? What's the problem? You mean negative should not be there? Why? Why should not be there? Oh no, negativity is always bad. Vastu says and this says and that says. Yes, you are right, negativity is always bad. But what do you mean by bad? If there is good, there is bad. Yes, bad should comply with good. It should move with good. So if you want to understand good, you have to understand bad also. You are making me fool. You are breaking my mind. Yes, I am breaking your mind. Because I am your negative. My negative? Are you crazy? Yes, I am your negative. Without negative, positive cannot survive. Can night survive without day? Can day survive without night? Can fire survive without water? Can water survive without fire? Both ways are there. Why are you speaking a lot? Speaking is not my profession. My mind forces me to speak. My tongue allows that. If my tongue doesn't allow, I can't speak. What? It's not in my control. My mind is not in my control. People say control your mind. I can't control. People say control your conscience. I can't control. What can I control? Mind is my master. Mind is my procedure. Whatever thoughts come to me, these come through my mind. So mind is an engineer, an hidden engineer, a concealed engineer. So mind is sitting in my head, and my head is kissing of my engineer. So my mind is my engineer in that case, because my mind tells me what to do. Of course, some resources there, some feedback is there, software is there that my mind used. My education was software. It converted itself to software. How many years I got educated in, and then I applied and learned more and more. So Actually, I have been an engineer since beginning. Yes, I have been engineer since beginning. I have been living in a structure, it's called body. When I was born, I was very, very small. And now I have all this much. Expansion of my body, people call strain. So much strain, yes, so much expansion. I am very good in expansion. I am not good in contraction. I expand a lot. From few inches to few feet, I have expanded. Did you ever notice? When you were born, what was your size? Why are you talking? How you know this? How you can think like this? Thinking is my job. Without thinking, I cannot survive. Thinking is food for my mind. Just like you need food for your stomach, I need food for mind. You are living for food? Yes, I am living for mental food. Yes, food is also mental. Yes, I am mental and I like it to be mental because being mental is my capacity, being mental is my requirement. If I am not mental, then I can't survive. This is my beauty that I am mental. Every engineer is mental. Every philosopher is mental. Every thinker is mental. Every doctor is mental. All are mental who use mind. Yes, all are mental. Don't take it otherwise. Mental means if you use your mind all time, you are doing mental work. Something in direct relation to mind. Mental engineering. See, if you dig out engineering, you will find there thousands other engineerings. So civil engineering is like that. We call it civil. Why do we call it civil? Because it is related to every person. Not only in one country, in every country, all over the world. That's why we call it civil engineering. Civil engineering means human engineering. We do work for human to stay safe, to stay in good house, good building, to stay in good environment. Though there is no good environment, but our attempt is always towards that. To stay with least hazards, to stay and live with least accidents. This is beauty of engineering. To stay within some structure which is well defined and which is within limits of your budget. This is what engineering is all about. So there is nothing that you can say only this is engineering. Engineering stays at every step in your life. You move and you'll find engineering position. Some people do survey work. Some people do quantity work. Some people do analytical work. Some people do site work. Means there is no limit. Depends on what we say. Materials are same, minds are same. Of course, variations do exist. My mind and your mind and some other's mind, there may be a lot of differences. There are many minds much more powerful than I can say, and there are many much more lower powerful than I can say. It is natural, but procedure is same. Procedure is always same. Speed is different. One can do very fast work, others cannot do. It depends on how efficient you are. One can speak very good, one can speak very slow. It depends how you do. But procedure is still same. The tongue is used for speaking, mind is used for speaking. If you speak very fast or you speak very slow, both ways, tongue and mind are resources for this. Your body is using your nose for respiration. Your eyes are using, we are using our eyes for viewing external world, and internal brain watches. Every organ has its own functions, its own responsibilities. We have to take that point into our considerations all the time. So since I'm talking about, you may be saying, I don't know which way you are going. Sometimes you are here, sometimes you are there. Yes, you have to move like this. You have to move like that. You cannot fix yourself in one direction because we are human. Mind is most important part of body, for which body has been created. And because mind is engineer. Mind is engineer of everything. Everything I say. negative, positive, multiplication, division, whatever you apply with, mind is used for everything, and without use of mind, you cannot do everything. Even animals do have mind. Mind it. Animals do have mind. We cannot condemn them as well. Surprise, I also talk nonsense. But don't say nonsense is just in terminology bad, but nonsense parallel to your sense. Nonsense moves parallel to your sense. This means nonsense and sense, there are two entities. One is sensible, one is non-sensible. You can recognize sense only when you know what is nonsense. Otherwise, everything is nonsense. Plus and minus are different. When you know effect of minus, then you can understand benefit of plus. And when you understand benefit of plus, you can understand benefit of multiplication of plus and minus. Multiplication of plus and minus, subtraction of plus and minus, or algebraical addition of plus and minus, you can understand benefit of. You may be saying, what person is this? Means he is talking, don't know which direction it jumps in all in each sentence he is talking. This is nothing, this is engineering. Engineering moves in all directions. All directions. You start with something, you'll find engineering. You move somewhere, you'll find engineering. And you move across whole body, you'll find something. And exit, you'll find something. That is engineering. That is engineering. Maybe some people don't agree. But agreement is not an issue here. Requirement, factual world, that's the issue. Requirement of what? Requirement of engineering. You want to drive a car. Did you think from where car came? Yes, you can say car came from factory. And what is the factory? What is the manufacturing unit? Is that not engineering? So your car is engineering item. It's engineering product. Your grain, food grain is engineering product, agricultural engineering product. Your shoes, your clothes, whatever you wear, whatever you tear, whatever house you live in, whatever you do in life, whatever you travel by, everything is related to engineering. Of course, when I say engineering, it includes science. I'm not saying science is isolated. Science is mother of engineering. Science is mother of engineering. So when I say engineering, it includes science. Basic science as well as applied sciences. So I'm not separating it. I'm respecting it this way in a cohesive way, not in a fraction way. Engineering and engineering sciences and sciences all move together. So when I say I'm an engineer, to some extent I am an applied scientist, and to some extent I am scientist also. Same way others do. So we should consider quality in that way. We cannot simply say, I have conducted all tests and this is fine, this is done. Tests are other part of engineering. Test is something else. I'm not talking of tests. I'm not talking of something like this. I'm talking of quality organization, quality wondering. We can take example of body. We have many levels of our body, many structures in our body, many plants in our body, many organs in our body. Can you count how many are there? Can you measure them? No doctor can tell exactly what your body is. They have only relative ways to exploring it and to certifying your body medically fit. But our body is very big plant. Very big plant. Much more important than your refinery plants and all those plants, even your reactors. It's much more important than that. It's so delicate. Something pinches on your body, some pain in your body, you feel it. You can't tolerate it. The other parts of your body are fine. For example, my leg, some fractured area is there. It pinches me, but all other areas are same. Even then I'm saying, oh, I'm not happy, I'm not healthy. All parts are healthy except they I am affected with, but I feel upset. It's taken me for a couple of months to come back to recover, but I could not do that till now. So this is what I'm saying. This is a kind of injuring itself. It's medical injuring, though they don't call it injuring, but it is medical. It's not in our hands. It's not in our control. But those engineering products which you construct, you produce, you manufacture, they are to some extent in your procedural controls or in your quality word control. Quality word I'm saying, I'm not saying quality control. Quality control is different. So my dear, why I have to say is something very, very different now. Life is different, but engineering is part of life, and life is a product of engineering. You consider life in relation to what you enjoy, right? You consider always your life in relation to what you enjoy, what materials you enjoy. There are two issues now. One is material and one is your inner power, and that is called soul. Engineering is soul to my consideration. I consider engineering not based on exclusive material, but on integrated soul with those materials. That's what I consider. Everything is made of structures, of atomic structure, or you can say molecular structure, or whatever you can say. Everything, you may classify that into inorganic or organic, that is different. But whatever it is, there's certain life for everything. It varies in quantum, it varies in its duration, it happens. But if you have studied chemistry, it is clearly said that everything, even inorganic products, inorganic elements, inorganic materials, that change its every day, every time changes its composition and decomposes further and reaches some stage, and that's called radioactive lead. This everybody knows. Organic matter decompose very efficiently, and you can't expect them to stay for years for you. Your food cannot be preserved forever. Your potato, tomato cannot be preserved forever. They decompose because of their life like this. When do we decompose? You got my point? As human being, how much time we take to decompose? Do we decompose or recompose what we do? There's a point, what I'm saying, why I'm saying. We have two aspects in our constitution of body, composition of our body. Our body is first of all solistic. Solistic, I mean to say, is based on natural power. Natural power is called soul. Natural power that builds your body is called soul. And natural power that uses these materials which are within the body, these materials can decompose, but your soul cannot decompose. Material can decompose, but your soul decomposes. There's a different point. Means I'm going to different way, but just to explain this something which you may understand easily is very important. Material is always, liable to lose its power. But body material can also do that. My eyes can weaken, my nose can weaken, my heart can weaken, but my soul cannot weaken. It cannot weaken. It cannot weaken. I have determination. I have a commitment. My body may not allow, but I will use others' body for that purpose. That is applicable. But my soul is there, more powerful than I was as having it in childhood. That my soul was not that powerful because I was infant. That time I could not build up that. But when I have a long life, I have gone through many decades of my living, I have built my soul more powerful. I could not speak in my childhood based on thinking. I could speak based on whatever I thought. I came to my mind and spoke. I grew up. I started integration of thinking with my speech, and I changed style of my speech, because now if I think something that I speak, that time I did not think, because my thinking capacity was not developed to that level. When I got educated, I got experience of life, my thinking capacity generated its power, and that's power of soul. Power of soul, when you are grown up, starts working. So there are two issues: decomposition of body and recomposition of soul. Decomposition of body is also reality, whereas recomposition of soul is in your hands. That is called work based decomposition of body. Recomposition, and of course simultaneously it's strengthened also. And when your soul is strengthened, it also helps your body to remain where it is. Even it can help your body, because mind is more powerful. When soul is strengthened, mind is also strengthened in consequence. And this mind, because it's controller of your body, it transmits your energy through mind to all parts of body. This means it can also transfer its energetic power to your other parts of body, so you can also get some benefit of this soul. Sometimes you think, when you think a lot and you get solution, you feel very pleased. Oh, I got it. Right? I was very upset. I could not understand what to do, but when I got answer through my mind, I now feel, oh, I should dance. I got it. Yes, you can dance limited, but don't dance. Let your mind dance. If you involve your energy discharge through your dancing physically, your mind will affect, Use your mind, keep that energy in mind, use it for some useful purposes, and you will get better results. Why I explain this soul power? Because I know what is soul. I experienced it in my life. And I not only experienced that, I used it. And I suggest you also develop this. Soul is above all. Who understands soul, they can solve many problems. Soul. If you can build up soul, your Atma. Soul is Atma. If you build up your Atma, you can get Paramatma. And Paramatma is your engineer, top engineer of all. No other engineer is available that much powerful as is Almighty God. Because God made me, God made this universe, God made this earth. So God has done everything which I am saying I am proud of. Means I am proud of God, because God made me and God made this universe. I am God product and universe is God product. So we are using both. Universe product is helping me to do engineering. I am using universe product to do something in engineering using this body, which is God's product. This is a triangle. This product, universe product, and God maker. We are triangular system here. God has blessed me with the material and soul, and God has blessed universe with powerful material. And God doesn't need any blessings because He has every blessings. So it is blessings of God that has brought me to this level to talk to you. And I am talking to you. Whatever I am thinking, I am speaking. I have no written script here. I have censored script something. What I think I am going to speak to you. What's wrong with that? And that's what God is helping me. Maybe it's sitting inside me now. I am talking to you. Who knows? I don't know. But without God's permission, I cannot talk to you. I cannot do engineering work. I cannot do anything. That's also true, because this is God's creation. Soul is God creation. World is God creation. My future is God creation. Future of this building is God creation. Means we have to mix up profession with soul in that case. Yes, that's where I stand with you. You have to link these two. Compatibility of material and compatibility with your soul is very important. If you are a person using soul power with material, you are best successful person. You say, I forget, I don't care for soul. Go on. Go now. Nothing moves without soil. Without soil, soil, I say soil or soul, both are same. Inside me there's a body, there's earth inside me, inside my soul. There's a universe inside my soul. Universe inside my soul, that is for me only. And everybody has got it in. For you also there's a soul, there's a universe inside your soul. Try to catch that. This universe is almost same prototype as this universe. This means God is inside you. So when you do something in the name of God, God would do it, not you. God would give you answer, not you. That is what I understand. This is not spiritual science, this is real science. This is real science. So when I connect myself to soul and power of God, I do best engineering. I can do best engineering. Because engineering means mind power. Use of mental power, mind. Use of strength of mind, that is engineering. How many do you agree? It's difficult to answer. But I agree, you answer or don't answer. I trust not because I say this does not need any trust. You need not have a degree of trust that this is right or this is wrong. Life is life. Air is there, you can't see, right? And darkness is there, you can see, but you can't understand what darkness is. You can see light and say, why? Light helps you to see everything. But don't worry, darkness has also light. That's why you can see black. Darkness has also light, which you can see black. Black is also a color. Maybe you don't like it, but it is color. You may not see something in black, you may see something in sunlight. You may see something in white. But black is black. That is called not visible, invisible, and that's power of negative. Power of negative, which God uses. You may say, what you are talking? Yes. Power of negative God uses, power of negative engineer uses. What? Engineer uses? Yes. Micron. What is micron? Micron. What is micron? Micron soft, you say. Electromicron. Micron is magnetic, electromagnetic. What is electromagnetic and what is electron? Though it's very elementary subject, very elementary talk. Electron, you know electron in chemistry, atomic structure, electron, proton, neutron. Oh yes, I understand. You remind me. Thank you very much for reminding. Electron, negatively charged particle. Negatively charged. You got it now. So if there is absence of electron, can the element stand? What? Brilliant question. Can absence of electron allow continuity of element? I am confused. Question is like that. Because composition of element is electron, neutron and proton. Proton is positive charge, you are happy. Oh, it's positive, it's good, it's material. Yes, it is positive, it's material. Oh, this is neutron, neutral. Oh, this is neither positive nor negative. What shall I do with this? And you are saying electron is negative, and I hate negative. But why do you hate negative? Because negativism is bad. People say, don't be negative. People say, but not God. People say, God doesn't say that. You are confusing me more and more. You deserve this because you do not understand negative value. If there is no electron, there can be no computer. If there is no electron, there can be no computer. If there is no electron, I don't have mind. If there is no electron, I can't have my body. It's beyond my understanding. Oh no, it is in your understanding, that's why you are listening. Try to understand. Electron. 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 Someone electing there? Yes. Element electing there. Element electing electron. Element is very happy when some electron comes in. Is it? Yes. Element always feels pleased when it gets electronic charge, when some electron comes to it. And so I am electronic charged, and it's very sad and says it's gone. Oh. So element is very happy with electron. Yes. Element is very happy with electron. It's not happy with proton, because proton it always has. It always has body, it doesn't have soul. Electron has come as soul. Why you're talking, you're engineer. So what's this? This is engineering. I am dealing with electrons every time, in every material. In every material there is electron. You read crystallography, you see modern physics, you can see material science and read crystallology, crystals, you'll find what I'm talking. Why we can't understand this? No need of understanding except this. If there is no electron, there can be nothing. Electron is flow. Electromagnet. Magnet is also related to electrons. It's a magnetic person, this is. Engineering is very complicated, of course. Modern physics, atomic physics, half-life. Modern physics, atomic physics, nuclear physics. Oh, I knew only physics. You knew only material physics. You knew physics based on friction, based on forces, based on applied mechanics. You did not understand electronic physics. Our body is made of billions of electrons. Our body, every body, iron, steel, aluminium, gold, silver, water, whatever you count in, you will find electrons. So everywhere there is negative world, and this negative world gives you positive world, because if electrons do not occur, your proton and your neutron become useless. That you can say electron is Sol part, Sol particle, Sol unit. You can say that. And this is where engineering stands in. This is not chapter of engineering, but this is basis of engineering. When you study material science, you understand this. When you study chemistry, you can understand this. But you did not take interest at the time when this subject was taught. You just had to pass it, and that's all, not to understand it. Okay, no problem. If that time you could not understand, you can understand now. There is no delay. No problem. You can understand whatever time you have in your life. You can understand that time. Why to worry about that? Understanding is not difficult. Only you must have patience. You must have that value in your mind and body, that I can understand this or I cannot understand this. That's where we have to live with. Life is not that easy as we think it is. Life is in your hands. You want to enjoy life or you want to leave it behind. If you want to enjoy life, don't link it to money. Don't link it to success, because every action is part of success. You don't worry about people, don't appreciate you. Don't worry about that. You appreciate yourself first. What I did is right. is it worth? It takes me to somewhere, and even if you don't get result of what you do, something new in your life day, don't worry about that. Whatever you do is not in your hands. God wants that you do it. This means there is some plan for that knowledge which you are using for doing that thing, and you are getting more and more knowledge based on that work, and that shall be used somewhere else according to plan of God. Don't be upset if you don't find results immediately, but that is a source for you, that is a resource for you. This is what engineering is all about. Engineering is availability of information, making more information, reacting with information, changing information to further information, further refined information, and all that engineering, and that's part of experience. You cannot get that in 3, 4 or 5 years of university degree, or even 8 years of university degree, because your experience, it's virtual university, it's real university, because you are working, you work there on your own responsibility, not on responsibility of guidance under your professor. There's a difference. Whatever you do, money is spent on that, you spend money, you are also charging money. You also charge money, but you learn a lot based on that. That learning is very, very refined engineering, byproduct of education. That learning gives more learning, that learning creates more engineering and more engineering. And that is what engineering is all about. Engineering is never-ending field. It's never-ending profession. It never ends. It begins only. Every research is new beginning. Every innovation is new beginning. Every method is new beginning. Forget about copyright, forget about design right, forget about edit right. Your understanding is benefited. Your understanding is enriched. That is required. Every calculation gives you new calculation. Every mode. I have talked about calculations in many videos on worksheet as well as on drawings and application of certain diagrams, or you can certain figures based on certain unit dimension and proportional conversion of that into many other calculated field. I talked to you about this area, volume, etc. in many last videos, and also I refer to many other things which are very useful in engineering and otherwise. And if you take some interest in that, you benefit. All URLs here in this text of video. But I'm just referring that calculation is life. Calculation is life. Doesn't mean mathematical calculation. I'm not confining to mathematical calculation. I'm just trying to enlarge your scope of understanding of life. And that is through engineering. Engineering is vast, particularly civil engineering, electrical engineering, mechanical engineering. These rule your life. If there is no electrical engineering, you cannot live. If there is no mechanical engineering, you cannot live. And if there is no civil engineering, you cannot live. Today light is off. You are, light is not available. What can I do? I cannot do anything. So electrical has become very important part and particle of your life. Part and parcel of your life. Machine. Life has become so much oriented on machines that without machines you can't move. For washing clothes, for cooking, for this and that, for every activity of your life, you need certain input of machine. But civil, you don't know what civil is. You don't know what civil is. Because it deals with soil, cement, aggregates. So you don't like it. Oh, gand hai. What is this? I do stay in soil. I see my face is dusted. See my clothes are dusted. Oh, see my nostrils are filled with dust. My lips, it's gone into my mouth. That's right. Because you are dealing with nature. You are dealing directly with nature, not indirectly. Machine engineer deals indirectly, electrical engineers deals indirectly, but only beauty of civil engineering is that you stay with nature wherever you work. Wherever you work. You have to stay with nature. You have to understand nature. You are excavating something, you understand nature. You survey something, you understand nature. Survey. Do you know what is survey? Without survey, we cannot move a single millimeter. Sorry. Without geographical survey, without, you can say, geotechnical survey, without sea survey, we cannot move anywhere. We cannot move because survey tells us what is located where. Location of requirement. We have to know that before thinking to do something. We have to know that. Where is what is address of which point. I should say in simple terms, address. Though there is latitude, depression, all that is there. Geotechnical, all this is there. That's all in terminology. But what's address of which place? That's called survey. Like this survey on land, this astronomical survey also. Which planet in which altitude, in which azimuth, which road angle, what, that's called astronomical survey. Relative positions of planets. So relative position of levels of Earth and orientation of Earth, any point, whatever point, survey is that one. So if you understand that survey, we can know where we have to reach. So survey is very important point in engineering, and survey is, it looks as you are not doing anything, but that's very, very important one, very accurate one. Without this, we cannot move anywhere. I think it's very cold, but I am managing how to do that. My cap is also not very well. Civil starts with something unknown. Sometimes we are so sure that this will be okay, but when we do something, we excavate and we find something else which was not in line we are thinking about. So we have to change our course of action, but that is very rare. When we do some project, we start with that. We have to make sure what we are going to do must have foundations, base. That is basics of every engineering, civil engineering, that we have to know to what depth we have to go and what lies behind, what lies beneath this area in which we are going to do, we are going to erect some structure. Structure is a common word here. You can call it building, you may call it bridge, you may call it whatever else. Even road is also structure. Airport, structure based, and air, this runway is a structure. Every structure, manhole is a structure. Everything is structure. Means structure is wide definition, wide, broad definition. You cannot just squeeze it. Even squeezing is not permitted. So we have to keep in our mind when we work in engineering that this is not very common profession. It's not very common science. It's beyond your vistas. It goes beyond your earth. It goes beyond and beyond and beyond. So you are in such a brilliant profession that takes you to stars, far stars, beyond seas and beyond skies. You can think like that. You can't go beyond skies, you can't go in sky even, but your thoughts can go wherever you want them to go. Thought-based engineering it is. Thought-based engineering. It's only engineering civil that knows nothing before doing something. You can only imagine. You only imagine. Hypothetical work. I can think that way. If I design this beam, this span, this height, this and that, it's all imagination. Whether or not it's done directly manually or it is done through computers, it's all imagination. That imagination creates some spatial diagram or figure or perspective, and then you have to decide based on that product of your mind to further product or enrich that. So imaginative world, negative world. Imagination means negativism because you can't see using your positive eyes. You have to use it through your negative eyes, and that is mind, brain, capacity, that is the mind. So enrich your mind if you want to be engineer. Your mind gives you some input and output which you use in your structure. So that is not final one. There are many stages of that, from one to unknown, that you use those stages, the variations of your mind capabilities into product of engineering. Whatever structure you finalize, it has gone through many stages of your mind, and that is where profession lies in. You may say, I have tried many propositions and I selected this one for best answer. That is your mind, your capacity, which is best one. So don't consider that there's a fixed formula that can give you something. Don't expect that fixed formula is your friend. There is no fixity in your contemplation. There can exist no fixity in your mind. Your mind is different. It helps you enrich again and again. Once you start using your mind, it walks very fast. Second time you use it, it walks further fast. Then you use it walks very fast. It walks very fast, and it gives you answers very fast, because whatever answers you already got, it interconnects that also. It involves those also into your further calculations, and this is all calculations. That's what I'm saying. This is all calculations. Relative calculations and fundamental calculations. What's relative calculations? Calculation that relate to already work done, that's relative calculation, and calculation that's on the basis of original work, that's different one. So civil engineering is something very extraordinary engineering in which you have to imagine. You can't say something before you do it. You could make it. Even in designs there is imagination. Of course, I'm not saying construction is already there based on certain details, certain drawings, plans, elevation, all that, methods, specifications, everything is how we have the construction. But before that, those wealth of construction that you have based on this we call that material as well, design, drawings, specifications, all that's called material. And that material you use, or informative material you can say, that informative material that you use for your work, construction work, is all engineering material, and that is used. The product of that is your mind and your body, because your mind said something, your body did it using some computers otherwise, and you produce that material. That is another beauty of engineering, that you say, if you say civil engineer means imaginative engineer, imagination is so powerful that it can create physically something. Your imagination is not futile, it is fertile, because you are imagining something which is going to be done as product. So our product based on imagination. Of course, theories are involved, everything is involved for work, but imagination. So you may say, engineer is a poet? Yes. Engineer is a story writer? Yes. You are a poet? You are a story writer? Yes. This means you can forecast, because you did something by imagination. Yes, my product is my forecast. My structure is my forecast. Not only forecast, I can forecast its longevity also. I can forecast its life also. I can forecast its conduct. You are Jyotishi? No, I am not Jyotishi. I am Jyoti. Jyoti, yes, light. Light, Roshni, yes. It's not LED Roshni, it's not sun Roshni, it is mind Roshni. Roshni, light, enlightenment that comes from use of my mind. This is civil engineering. I am mad now. You made me mad. Yes, mad is always very brilliant person, because very brilliant person acts in mad way. Sometimes brilliance is so powerful, many people are sitting around you, they look at you and you don't even notice them. You are immersed so much. Your mind is immersed so much, not your body. Your mind is immersed so much in that sea or ocean of imagination that you don't even notice who is sitting around. That is world of civil engineering. That's world of civil engineering. Not construction engineering. I'm saying civil engineering. That's world of design engineering. That's world of planning engineering. That's world of quality engineering. Means you have to think about each and every aspect of what you do. So you are defining engineering. Yes, I am defining engineering from first principle, not from looted principle or not from stolen principles. I am defining very first principle based on which I do engineering and everybody does engineering. Somebody asks me, what do you mean by structure? And how do you understand it? I always say, I don't understand structure. Structure tells me itself about it. Because I start from fundamental principle or first principle or original principle. So structure tells me, if you do like this, I will respond like this. If you do like that, I will do like this. This is what structure tells me. Structure tells me. Though not existing one. It doesn't exist. Beauty is that it doesn't exist, but it exists in my mind. It exists in my mind as a part of design. As a part of working on site. I imagine I'm working on site. Somebody asked me, how can you write method statement like this sitting in this office when you are not at site? Why should I be at site for writing method statement? What's the relation of being a site? My site is in my mind. I create site in my mind. I create action in my mind because everything depends on action. Every instance depends on action. So I think that I am taking action. I imagine I am standing on field. I am standing in field and people are working and I am working. I am thinking I am doing this, there, and I am giving you result. It should be done like that. That's method statement. It should be in line to all requirements. That is important. Requirements are defined somewhere else. So I have to pick them out and integrate that with my method statement. Positively, confirmatively, not contravention, not contravening with each other, in line and compatibility with each other. So I stand there. This is what I say. You are really, your mind is mad. Yes, believe me. Somebody asked me, actually I used to write method statements on some project, very big project, and I think more than 50, 60, 70, 100 statements I wrote there about construction. And I left that project. Somebody came to me on our project and that director asked me, please, you can make method statements of this. I said, okay, you are not my boss now. My boss is different. I'm not asking if it says I do it. No, it's okay. Just tell me how you are writing this, madam, because I want someone else to write that. Oh, my dear sir, it's very easy, very, very easy. What do you mean very easy? It's difficult. No, it's easy. Tell me how it is. How do you write it? I internally laughed and enjoyed that conversation. I didn't impress him by laughing, but I told him, see, Mr. This, I imagine. What? I imagine. By imagination you can write this. Yes, I imagine. I imagine I am standing on site. I am standing on site. I am their side, and what I imagine, people are working, equipment are standing, material is available, and I am there. How should I use that? I write on this. How should I instruct them? I write on this. How I order material? I write on this. What is quantity? I write on this. That is method statement. What safety measures I take? What inspections I have to do? I write on that. This is that way. Yes, this is this way. So easy, yes, so easy. So you can now write yourself. Oh no, 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 I can't write self. I am not imaginative person, I am a practical person. Yes, here is the point. Practical person. This is the misconception. Practical person. What is practical person? And what is imaginative person? Can practice go on without imagination? Can you do something without imagination? How? Tell me anything involved. Tell me whatever there is existing. You do something where without imagination you got something. My mind is now breaking. Because he's asking a question. Tell me single instance in whole world without imagination that is constituted. Gravity law. How was it erupted? Law of gravity. Laughing? You are laughing? So why should I weep? And why should I be serious? Because my contemplation gives me medicine to laugh, medicine to enjoy. My contemplation is medicine. Even if I feel upset, I contemplate and enjoy. I don't weep. I should not weep because I am an engineer. An engineer cannot weep. In profession you cannot weep because you have solution provider. A solution provider. Yes. If there exists some problem, engineer is answer. And if there is no problem, engineer is not required. Is it? Yes. Because when engineer has given you everything, there is no problem. Simple. When I have given everything to you in writing, in drawing form or in text form or in diagram form or whatever form, do like this. I give complete method. So why do you need me then? Why do you need me, Father? You won't need me. But it's not easy because that package of instruction would go to someone else and that person would act in my behalf on work. So I have delegated my everything to that person through this documentation, and that person would read them comfortably, concentratively, and that person shall do work. And if I fail in that, the person is unable to do something or not able to do something, it's my fault. My fault as a writer, my fault as a contemplative person, my fault as initiator. So engineering is very big branch. Means you have to be concentrative, you have to be initiative, you have to be thinker, you have to be writer, you have to do everything which whole world would do on that project. This means you have to merge your mind and that project must merge in your mind. That project requirements must merge in your mind at time of working. This is called exponential thinking. Exponential thinking. Thinking which comes from original environment, which comes from direct relation between your mind and superpower. That comes to your mind. You receive that transit, that transmission, and you solve it for whatever problem exists. What do you think? Is engineering joke then? Joke? It's joke of world. All engineering is joke. Because engineering requires to be understood thoroughly. Joke is not easy. Comedy is best. Very best. Comedy, you mean what comedy? It's very difficult to do and think. To make other laugh, ridicule is very, very difficult. If you want people to laugh, you have to be very serious for that. You know this? If you want people to laugh because of your something, then you have to be very serious in that contemplation, in that understanding, in that thoughtful state of your mind. So is engineering. People enjoy your product forever. Don't keep this thinking aside. Your product is not consumable. Your product is very reliable for people, for generations to come. Your product shall be used by all without any damage to product. So you have to be very, very responsible in that way. Very responsible. My product is there for 60 years, 100 years, 150 years, 200 years. I don't know. Father, grandfather, grandfather, his father, all have been living in this building and they have left this world for their home, permanent home. But they use this building, they use this structure. This means this structure has seen many generations and shall be passing through many generations. Keep this in mind, Mr. Engineer or Mrs. Engineer. Keep in mind this. If you keep this in mind, then you will understand what quality is all about. Quality is not certain definition, no. Quality is something different. We have to think that way. Long life of your project. Long life, the project is terminated at end of completion, but good remains there. Product is a good. Product is a good because it's going to be used forever. So it's for good. It's not for 1 year. It's not for 2 years. It's not for 1 month. It's not for 2 months. Civil engineer has different role in society. Civil engineer has different role in society. What is that role? I have to see. Yes, as citizens you should see. Generally, items provided by electromechanical engineers, machines, equipment, distribution boards, wires, cables, they are replaceable for, you can say, they are replaceable after some time. Due to whatever reason, machines can be replaced because of life is over. Transformer can be replaced, switch gear can be replaced, distribution boards can be replaced, you can say fuses can be replaced, everything can be replaced, water tanks can be replaced, pipes can be replaced, but structure can be retrofitted. Of course, I'm not saying that can't be retrofitted. Retrofit means to bring it back to its original position, original state of existence by various methods. So you can say retrofitting is accepted, but structure cannot be replaced in common. First of all, it's question of cost, it's question of time, it's question of power, it's question of whatever you can say it is. It's not easy, means it's a very powerful work that structure requires to be given as input. But there's no meaning in replacing it, because replacing means wasting time. You cannot replace something because you like it. Structure every day gains more and more strength. People do not understand, but I tell people, for example, one of my relative wanted me to do something which engineering does not allow. I didn't agree for that. It's concrete. One of my close, not close family members says, I want to make one floor on this as it is, a copy of previous down floor, lower floor. Problem is that it was constructed about 18 or 19 years in past, and something which is 18 or 19 years past, particularly in concrete, you cannot just play with it. You cannot play with it. There's one staircase. It terminates at that floor on which they want to enlarge up. And there is no provision of that in original work. But they say, no, we want to, I suggested to them that we can't extend this stair above this terminated one. We have to install one metallic stair inside. They do not accept this. Okay, it's their home, don't accept. I can't force anyone. This engineering is sort of people not to fight with them. But I would not allow to raise one staircase on this terminated one, because first of all, concrete is very old. Even if I want to break it, it doesn't make any sense. And because this part is not landing part, this is slab part, roof slab part, I can't permit it for constructing another stair flight on that, stairways on that. But they don't accept, because they consult contractor, they consult others, and you know what contractors are. They can accept everything. Well, it's up to them. I don't accept this proposal. That you may accept as honor anything, but I'm not going to accept this. I don't allow this. Better you don't deal with me about this issue. Either you accept what I say, or you do your responsibility. Because there are many things, you see, there are many considerations, many points we have to consider. A building has been there, and there was no plan at the time to extend this. First of all, extend it vertically by one floor. And if there was no plan, means no provisions are made there for leaving dowels or steel or something else for use of future. So how can you do, means just because you want to do something and subcontractors say, oh, contractors, builders, they don't care for engineering, they don't care something else, they don't care for theory of structure, and they don't care for designs and all that, but engineer has to care, because the job of engineers to do that. It of course, when you refuse someone some service, it may be paid or unpaid. If it was not paid even then it's a question. It's a question, means, so what are you talking about? What are you talking about? Yes, I'm talking about something that should be done or should not be done. It's a question. We have to talk about. We have to talk about something. The issue, see, we had no plan at the time that that person did not provide anything for extension of that. And there are negative moments, steel in from column to column, it has to go up sometimes. If you want to extend that floor, upper floor to upper floor, negative moments have to go up, and you see transit bending moment has to go, and then also landing design must be there, and there must be dowels left in landing, because landing which is not landing now, it's only slab. There's half landing, you can say one landing is there after two landings, or you can say half landing is there, other landing has to go, the additional bars into beam, all that is, and they want to break it, okay, we can break it. No, it's not easy, you can't break it. It's the 20 years old concrete approximately. It is taken additional stress lesson, just like hysteresis exists in materials, also additional stress exists in material. Every concrete once done, it hardens gradually and gains more and more strength per time. So 20 years have passed, means it has gone its absolute strength in, and you cannot break it. And even if you break it, you cannot create equivalent concrete of that strength. Old concrete and new concrete, how to make it? 20 years old concrete, and now you want to do it, it's not possible. Forget it. People do not realize these problems. They are interested in physical work. They are not interested in theoretical work. They don't want to understand everything. They think everything from physical point of view, from use point of view. They don't care for future. I explained this is framing is not simply columns and beams you are talking about. It's question of structural framing, which is something altogether different. But who can understand? Who can understand? Point is that they don't understand. They least bother about this. They don't bother. They don't bother. Doesn't mean I should not bother. Oh no, I can't do it. Sorry. You talk to contractor, do whatever you want. It's your building, your structure, your future. I don't care. I kept it safe for you for 3 stories. I did that design in beginning in 2002. It was well framed foundation, It was not even raft. It was frame beam, complete tie up of foundation beams. There was no footing. In that is no footing. All beams connected together, all columns connected together in horizontal section of beam with horizontal flow of all beams around. You can see all beams are moving in a horizontal way. All columns are connected like that. No isolated footing. Spread beam footings. You cannot call even tie beams because these are not tie beams. These are structural beams. So there are issues in construction engineering, and it's very complicated one sometimes because you can't explain to everybody. And even if you tell them there's a bending moment and there is this and there is that and negative and positive, they won't understand anything. So it's no use even to explain to them. They believe in contractor more than what engineer does because contractor talks in different tone and they are convinced. Salesmanship of contractor is higher than truth of engineering. You can sell yourself, but you are not selling yourself, you are damaging someone else. This happens. This is life. And this is where engineer is always withdrawn. Engineer automatically withdraws because they say, oh, this is engineer, he's talking this and that, he's trying to increase our cost and he's trying to waste our time and we have short time and means all these happen in our profession. Well, I'm just giving an example what kind of people, what type of problems do we have. This is a problem, but not a problem. Also, you can save it if you wish. You can, of course, okay, you did not provide any dowel, negative moment dowel or something. You can create, framing on that floor itself, If you provide additional framing on that floor, so that you stop what moment could transfer to lower floor, you just dampen that moment on that floor itself. In that case only that load would move down, that action would move down, and that action is not a problem. That's a direct load, even axial load is there, little movement is there. Your foundation and your below structure would contain it, while your isolated movements, bending movements, or you are saying I'm doing this in shear type frame and this would take that. So there are solutions for everything. But I won't allow structure like this and stay, or I don't admit that. I don't accept that you enlarge or you extend or you add to this existing stair another stair, floor stair. That is not permissible, come what may. This is what engineering demands. It's not because of money, it's not because of this. Because it's permanent, it's forever. You will enjoy this forever, your generation would enjoy this forever. So it's a very serious matter. You cannot just take it for granted because I say you do it and we want to do like that, and this contractor he says, I never say you cannot do like this, but you have to satisfy engineering. You have to satisfy engineering. If you can't satisfy engineering, if engineer is not satisfied and just says you do, you condemn that engineer, what shall engineer do? He just said, okay, it's your property, it's your money. If something happens, it's to you. Why should I be arrogant on you? Do whatever you want to do. Do whatever you want to do. Why should I worry about that? Right or wrong? Why should I worry about that? If you want to do it, it's your world. This happens in life. This happens in life, and we have to be true to that. That such situations would come everywhere. Where people are professional, they understand, they will accept this, but where people are not professionally oriented, or they don't understand your profession, they say, no, because we want this, and you do it. That's different, So civil is something, very, very different world, very different field. You cannot uniformly apply everything everywhere. You have to depend and deal with every situations, in isolation or in uniformity. But what I am talking is not that problem. I am talking engineering in general, where people have to apply it in field, and every other, those who are not civil engineers or those who are general people, they also should understand that house which you are making or structure that you are adding to your life, that's not for one day or 2 days, that's not for 1 month or 2 months or 2 years, that's going to work for decades, many decades or centuries even. So that's a different way you should understand. Material used on permanent items works forever, depending on how much corrosion affects it or how much air affects it. That is another point, or how much losses it cannot sustain during wind pressure or during seismic pressure, or what happens when it's ablazed. All these points should be kept in mind. There is no limit in structures. There's no limit, and every structure is different. You cannot even generalize that. But methodology is there, design methodology and execution methodology, they are there, and all other methodologies do exist, for which we can discuss a lot for innumerable hours. There's no limit. Discussion has no limit. Engineering is only field in which there is no limit. Civil engineering particularly is very vast field in which there is no limit, and no drawing is same, no formula is same, no material is same. Even different types of different diameters of steels can be used in same structure, and that's where we stand with. We understand what is that. So we have to keep ourselves in that kind of environment where you are not accepted by everybody. You are accepted by client in one way, and you are accepted by contractor in another way, and you are accepted by businessmen in another way, and politicians in another way. But you have your own way. Your client is not owner. Your client is not politician. Your client is not contractor. Your client is God. God. Yes. You are using God's material. You are using God's earth. You are using God's mind. They are only media, owner, contractor. They are just, middleman, you can say, middle people. But you have to deal with them. You can't avoid them. So you have to deal in that proportion only, which is admissible. That proportion is different. You cannot meet them in a way you should. There's a limit to that. But they have to deal with. Technically, if they accept, it's fine. If they don't technically accept, no, I don't accept you, I go to somewhere else, and someone else also says them, I'll do myself. Okay, do yourself. You'll come back again because you do not know what to do. What I am saying, as I said in the last video also, physical and engineering are different items. Construction and engineering based construction are different. Construction is what you see people do by keeping only physical actions into their minds, while otherwise engineering based physical actions are different. Yes, you can do whatever you want to do. Whatever you want to do, you can do, no problem. But when technology comes into play, or engineering comes into play, you cannot say that. That is different. When engineer comes into play, it is completely overhaul of everything. Overhaul. Definition of engineering, then what? What is definition of engineering? And what is that? How can you finalize definition of engineering? I simply said think and do it. Think and do it. At what places we have to think and how many variations should be there in this contemplation? Yes, that's why we say options. Many design methods, many planning methods. Everything is many, not fixed. Not fixed. You understand? Fixed. Joints are fixed or joints are not fixed. Joints are movable or joints are rotable. Joints are pinned or joints are not pinned. All these do happen. And they have to deal accordingly. So what is joint then? Yes, where column meets with beam, that's a joint. Where column meets with beam and slab, that's a joint. Now how you make these joints? You make them fixed or partially fixed. You make them rotatable or you make them free. It's engineering. How do you do that? Everything is different. If you make them fixed, or you make them movable, rotatable, or you make them like this, free, all designs are different. And engineering does it. But life also does it. Now these are materials which are talking of joints. But what about joints where client is there, one part, one member, you are one member, contact is one member, and someone having different is one member. That's also a joint. You can't avoid it. You have to fix it, or you have to rotate it, or you have to pin it, or you have to free it. What you have to do? Every action has different result. This is what structure requirements is. Same thing applies to equipment also. But performance is measured in equipment. That can be measured. But in engineering construction, it cannot be measured. You can measure performance of machine by efficiency. You can very well measure. You can measure how electrical divisions of load is working. You can vary it. But once structure is done, you cannot take out concealed items like reinforcement and do it again. No way. There is no equipment that can replace those steel bars or others. There is no way. There is no way tendons can be replaced in pre-stressed concrete. No way. So your product is fixed one there. You can't relocate those bars from concrete. That's the point here. You can't relocate them. You can't displace them. You can't extract them. Only you can break them. Breaking? Yes. Very difficult task. Very difficult task. Breaking of concrete and steel. No, you cannot do. You cannot do. Accidental is something else. Intentional you cannot do. Nobody shall permit it. Yes, you can make another building besides that building by giving expansion joint. That is different. That is different. I remember one instance long back, when I was young, one of my colleague, architect, we used to interact together very closely, came to me, to my daily office. See, Suraj, what's there? I have some problem. What problem? I am supervising, doing that building. It's a temple, old temple. And I started work there, excavation work, and I don't know how to do it, I'm not understanding. So why are you coming when you have already started that work? No, come on, man, come, we go and I'll show you, give me a solution. Architect. He starts everything and then comes. Okay, let's go. I went with him on his scooter. A long drive, and we reached there, one place. It was a building of temple existing, and he was extending that building. But how to do it? Point was that he could not understand anything. There was no way out. There was no connection possible, There's no possibility of connection at all. And moreover, even the person, he would not have done that. It was not permitted. Yes, well, not problem for me. I'm an engineer. I ask him, okay, I'll do it. Oh, give me in 4 hours, 3 hours, because the person, the contractor is excavating. I told him, if you want that, give him 2 hours or 3 hours, then you do yourself. It's design. It takes time. He was upset. No, ask this man to stop. I will take 3 or 4 days minimum, because in those days there was no computers and there was no calculators even. I think, yes. Maybe calculators were there, so I told him, give me 4 days. No, do by some thumb rules. Please don't ask me for thumb rules. There's no thumb rule in engineering. Experience is there, but no thumb rule. So, okay. And more, one condition is, whatever I give you, whatever sketch and instruction I give you, you have to comply with that. Ask your contractor first. Okay, I'll manage. So I designed combined footing of wherever it is a problem on those columns. I give combined footings, and I told you have to do like this. If you don't do like this, don't come to me. Rectangular combined footings, you might have, if you're an engineer, you know that. If you're not an engineer, I'll explain to you. And there's a problem between how to site columns, and there is no common footing for columns. So in that case, we combine 2 columns together, and that's called combined footing. Means those 2 columns are given one foundation, and that's called footing of this and footing of that to join together, so that they work together. So existing building in that case is not used, and that is actually very principal solution in engineering, combination of footings. So this is of course complicated in work, and there's a technology and method for that. There are 2 types. One is rectangular combined footing, other is trapezoidal combined footing, depending on what location you are dealing with. So he did that. Of course, it's difficult for him, but no, you have to do it. 5-legged and 12-legged rings and this and that you have to do. So he did that. And then somebody visited site. So how he could solve this? No, he said, no, there was someone else who came to me. Oh, he must be expert. Yes, he's MI and that, all that. He said, no, I'm saying there's something else. But question is, when you're trapped in only, then you're coming to me, not otherwise. That's the point which don't like, you have to be with me whenever there's normal time as well. But that's where you are not with me. That's the point which I don't like, It's already 2.5 hours, so let me sit for some more time and see how much can I do in this case, and let us see how can you do. I'm tired, of course, because I'm not very strong in health at this moment, but no problem. When I'm talking about construction and projects and all that, there is no limit actually to think and speak and do this and that. I would simply say civil engineers should be very smart in mind. In mind, I'm saying, don't worry about your clothes. Don't worry about what you are, how you move, how you drive. But mind should be very, very fertile, because at every step you need mind, while it doesn't apply in electromechanical world. Because there is something fixed. Circuit is fixed, design of machine fixed, production of machine fixed, performance of machine is fixed. But here in our world of construction, related engineering, nothing is fixed. It's in your hands how you handle, which way you adopt, how you take stresses and how you do. There are so many individual based ways which every engineer applies. So it's complete different world. Complete different and very, very different. We have to measure it this way. Very different world. We cannot just jump over lump. We cannot jump according to choices of others. We have to think over, we have to contemplate in mind what we have to do. Yes, procedures are set, everything is set, but you set your own procedures. If you can. If an opportunity, you set, you devise, you design, and you use your own procedures. Who stops you? Everything cannot be controlled. Yes, codification can be done, but process is not a part of codification. It's your own. And you have to think for that. You use one method, when you decide it, next time you can improve it if you find problem. And next time further you do better. And your statement or your methodology goes on higher skills and higher skills. And then it becomes like universal, that people start using your method. What's wrong with that? Because every object, every project, though principally your method can be used with certain variations, certain alterations, I don't mind it, because it helps you. After all, it's my mind that is behind that procedure. So if you want to little deviate it to meet or fit in your requirement, it doesn't make an ill health on myself. It doesn't give me any impact of deterioration of my health, because my health is expanded. It's expanding your health, and you are make your health better and stronger. Well, I think there is nothing wrong in that. Nothing wrong in that. That's obviously very, very right. Well, I like it. If I write something and people use it, people learn from that document, it's not bad. Let them learn. After all, life is like this. If they learn from my document, my work, I should be happy that my work is reaching them and they are using it. Nothing wrong with that. It's my appreciation, self-appreciation. They may not appreciate, but if using my mind, my work, it should be comfortable. And that's the purpose of my work. It's not for me alone. That is engineering movement. How engineering moves. One does, other work on that, they research on that and invent it. Okay, modify it. But principle is same. Principle is same. Even designs are changed by people, by amendment or modification. Okay, if they like, what's wrong? You can, how to fight with them? Why to fight with them? Them do it. If I use 16 die, still they use 12 die, or they use 12, I use 16. What's wrong? As far as stresses are within limits. So, civil engineering is, you can say, you may say it is omnipresent engineering, without which no other engineering can move. No other engineering. Though it's very small item, yet it's very important. We design and construct plinths or bases for machines or equipment, without which equipment cannot station itself and cannot work. It may be air conditioning plant, or it can be machines, other machine, or it can be vibrating element, or whatever it is. You need certain basis for that, which only civil engineers can do it. And that's where engineering lies in. So what means we have to be little flexible in our approach. We are required everywhere. Our work is required everywhere. In every discipline of engineering we are required. In agricultural engineering also we are required for construction of buildings. Small buildings it may be, but we have to do it. Roads we have to construct. Means you cannot say no. You are required everywhere. You are required in airports, you are required for hospitals, you are required for commercial work, you are required for shops, you are required for houses, you are required for roads, sewer lines, water lines, all where you are required structures do exist. That is beauty of civil engineering, that it is a kind of universal engineering that applies everywhere without requirement of which, without addition or support of which, no people cannot move. It may be small element or big element. Engineering is engineering. Sometimes smaller works are very expensive and very time consuming than bigger works, because in bigger works material is too high and there's no problem in arranging that. In smaller work problems do come in. So it's now 2.5 hours. I want to move little more. Maybe I don't know how many minutes more, but because it's early morning time, and anyway, what I say is altogether not that what is said. I'm not going to define. I'm just going to interact with you comfortably. Means my opinion transmits to you, and your opinion should come as feedback. Only purpose is that I'm talking that we should know which is better, which is not better. Everything cannot be measured in physical terms, Everything cannot measure in physical terms. We need something different, very, very different all time, and that's what is engineering about. Changes and changes and changing, just like quality system says, improve and improve always, and that's where is requirement. This requirement we say improvement, and improvement is a requirement here. That's what we say. So my dear friends, maybe it looks very surprising to you. I'm talking in different way. It's not different way. It's basic way. This is what engineering requires. Don't focus on one part of engineering. Don't focus on one part of engineering. Because if you focus on one part only, then you can be only part engineer. Yes, focus on one part, but interact with all other parts. That's very important. Interaction with all others. Because when you interact with others, you will have to know something about that others. And they will have to know something about yours. And that's where engineering world moves in. Coordinational approach, interactive approach, and that leads to compatibility approach. Your work and their work should be compatible. Just like machine should be with electrical supply, both compatible. If one is not compatible, others will not fit in or will not allow to fit in. The electrical guy would say, I done. Mechanical guy would say, oh no, it's not performing. So coefficient of compatibility is A. That doesn't work. So what's purpose of that? Where's coordination? There's no coordination, there's no interface. That's called interface management. So much technical is involved in that, in the interface management. It's not simply physical coordination, but technical coordination, technical compatibility coordination. You can say both should talk each other in performance. Both equipment should talk, both, you may say, electrical based supply and equipment should work together in same tuning as it should be, and that's compatibility with same wattage and same efficiency of machines, so that both work together for defined system. That is where it stands in. And if we can do that, If we can achieve that, I'm like now stressed in. If we can achieve that, we can achieve a lot. That's where it is, we can achieve a lot. Directly or indirectly, we can do something very, very conducive to each other. So, my dear friends, if you conduct engineering this way, being civil engineer particularly, you can help others, you can help yourself. Structure is a structure. No compromise. Because people want easy way. Problem is that people want go easy way. But structure is never easy. It's very strong. From liquid state of concrete, it goes to very hard state of concrete. How can you say that liquid has gone? Has gone. It's become solid like igneous rocks. Solid like igneous rock or solid like steel, it has become that much. This means we involve in some extraordinary special material job, and that is concrete, pre-stressed or cast in situ, having base of steel by reinforcing bars or by tendons or cables or by rolled steel, by whatever material it's supported with. So we have to be very conducive. And you are accepting it as your baby for coming decades and centuries. So you are a master father of that structure that you are going to produce. Don't just consider cost factor here. Cost you cannot avoid. It has to come in. No way. Measure its cycle. It's 100-year cycle and 50-year cycle. How shall it perform during that longevity? Do you understand what I mean? Longevity of couple of decades or many decades. That is major criteria we have to understand in our engineering. It's no joke. Not at all. It's no joke. It's a work. Solid work. Solid work. Because structure cannot be replaced. Machine can be replaced. Electrical connections can be replaced. Cables can be replaced. Transformer switchgears can be replaced after a couple of years. But structure cannot be replaced even if you prefer it to replace. You have only to break it or explode it. No way otherwise. The same thing as universe cannot be replaced. Universe is forever. Your product is not, of course, universe, but to some extent it is for some considerable part of universe. 50 years, 100 years, 200 years. And you can retrofit again and again and again, and it may be 300 years. So many generations to come to use that structure. You should respect that work. Don't underestimate your profession. Don't underestimate your mind. One application of mind, then second application of mind, then third application of mind, and keep on applying it further and further as you do it. It's really very sometimes interesting, sometimes conducive, sometimes pleasing, sometimes understandable if you do it. because it is a structure. When you see your structure in your lifetime, oh, I did that. You feel upset because there is some corrosion on that or some sealing on that, doesn't matter. But it was your job, still there. It is still there, and you feel, oh, I did it so many years back. Some civil engineers write, when I see some city, I see some development, I feel, oh, civil engineers have done it. When you are so pleased with others' accomplishment, what about your own? I visited one school in Qatar, which I was involved in 85, 86, I think, 1986. And I visited that, I think, somewhere in, I exactly don't know. Yes, it was somewhere in 1980, 2004, I am sure, 2004 or 5. So about 19 or 20 years later, I went there. Of course, it's a different mode, and I just went in and see how it was. I was, of course, little anxious that it's my involvement here, and it happens. It happens. I requested that guards. I was engineer on that project, so I want to see this. It was same as I did accept some dirt or something like that, but all columns were speaking to me, and all walls and all slabs was same as we did. There was no difference. So I felt that this was my baby, but I had no control at that time on this. It's beyond my control, but I did that. So I had a chance to see it after a period of about 20, I think 15 or yes, 20 years. You may have chance to see it after 50 years or 100 years, but not more than that. You are not existing. You won't exist that time. Maybe you have gone your permanent home that time in your heaven, and but somebody else, your soul may visit it post death. Your soul may visit that, but it is soul that knows that, not your body. Well, I should not go to that extent. I'm just trying to communicate to those people who want to aspire in engineering that don't underestimate engineering. Don't keep management higher than engineering and other professions higher than that, administration higher than that. There is no one that can replace your engineering, particularly those involved in structures directly or indirectly, in designs or in execution. For both of them, this should be something that gives you pride, that gives you high nose and high eyebrows, and that's very important point, because you are involved in something to create universe. Part means Vishwakarma's family members you are. Well, that's just a reference I'm giving Vishwakarma, though it's nothing to do with religion. Vishwa means world and Karma means work, Vishwakarma, which means world worker, a worker in world. Vishwakarma. Vishwa is world and Karma is who works. Actual duties if you perform. So world actual duties for long-term benefit and long-term use is structure one part of that. Just like rocks or earth is another part. Earth is mother of materials. Earth is mother of structure. Without earth we cannot do anything. So earth is a part of universe. So earth is prime mother of your engineering. Earth is prime mother of civil engineering. Civil engineer must respect earth. Civil engineer must respect universe. Because civil engineering is a part of universe. Rocks, soil, dust, rock dust, water, air, all these are ingredients of civil engineering. All. Sun. All. This means solar system is my relative, my as engineer. Solar system is my relative. Because sunlight impacts on my building, on my structure. Water, rainwater impacts on structure. Air impacts on structure. Dust impacts on structure. Earth shaking impacts on structure. Wind shaking impacts on structure. Everything impacts on structure. So I have many relations to nature, to universe. So this means somewhere I am related to nature, being civil engineer or structural engineer. We have to keep this one in our minds all the time, that we are not in isolation. We are part and parcel of universe, part and parcel of solar system. This is very important point I am trying to communicate with you. Don't think that you are dealing only with soil or material. You are blessed by universal arrangements. Because you are also a part of universe, being human being, you cannot control your body, but your body controls you, your mind controls you, your mind controls materials, your mind controls engineering, your mind gives you thinking power, your mind gives you every power. Contemporary thoughts are generated by mind, by results of research, by what you do and do further better you do. All chain is built up, and that chain built up is very important point in engineering. We cannot go against that. Chain build up is very important, a part of engineering, that we must understand how life moves in. That part of really very important. We must not miss it. Therefore, love your engineering. Love yourself being civil engineer. Do not relate it to how much money do you earn. Yes, money is basic requirement, but do not exclusively relate it that if I don't earn money, why should I go to engineering? Because everybody cannot be understood to calculate it that way, that I have to scale out my profession to money earning, because money earning purpose is not given by God. When God sends you here, God gives you some work, and that work you have to perform during your earth journey. That is reality of life. We may talk science, we may talk engineering, but we have to think one day we have to leave this earth. That is very important point. You like it or you don't like it, but that has to come in. No science, no engineering can answer you this. This is reality of life, that one day you have to leave this planet earth, and only your achievements that come onto your earth travel CV, that shall benefit you when you reach your permanent office or home, there where God is your in charge. That point is very crucial to understand. Though we people do not say, oh, they are talking something else. No, I am not talking something else. I am talking natural engineering, universe engineering. It's not something else. Universe engineering exists, therefore earth engineering exists. Universe exists, therefore solar system exists. And solar system exists, therefore earth exists. And earth exists, therefore we exist. So we inherit our clan from universe through solar system. That is real clan which we are part of, integrated part of. That point, as an engineer, you should think. You will get all your answers on this analysis. It is nothing very extraordinary but solid. It is nothing very extraordinary but reality based. Reality cannot be defied with, it cannot be denied with, it has to be understood in each and every aspect. That is very important point that we have to understand. Life cycle is very different. Life cycle is not that you are thinking or I am thinking. Life cycle is real cycle that we must respect. Now it's few moments more before I complete 3 hours, and I want to raise it gradually, because if my health permits I would do that, but because it's already near, I 6:45, so I have to close it in a couple of minutes. And I would say that it's not necessary that I should be here with 3 hours or something. It depends on my capacity someday, because still I have not recovered from my fractured leg. Well, I try to be busy with you, and I see early morning is better for that purpose. And I've just restarted, you can say, and I like to keep up if it is possible, and my God permits me, my Kalka permits me, my universe permits me. If it's their blessings, I continue, because it's not, it's just for, because before I leave earth, I want to leave something here for all world, that if you like, you understand, you read my message, or no, don't read. It's a part of FB memorials, everybody has memorials on Facebook, so it's only FB memorials that shall be constituted, shall be made up. Already there are many videos. So this, of course, particularly engineering videos. I'm not giving any technical formula here. I'm not giving any theory of structure or designs or something. I'm just trying to general talks with you. I'm just trying to communicate with you, share with you what my mind thinks during my talk, and it's based on experience. It's based on understanding of life. It's based on nature. It's based on how to communicate with public. It's something different. Means a couple of hours or few hours every day. It's no big deal if you want to be a part of responsibility. If you want to be a part of world, then you have to. It's a kind of investment. It is, means investment of time with public. No, I know I'm not going to get anything. I'm not interested in getting something else. So it's, just, you can say, I feel responsibility that quality should be kept up everywhere, and particularly in this country where it's not kept up. My observation for many years answer that quality has lapsed and it should be went up. And just how to understand quality, all this is required. All these videos like talks are required, and we cannot do otherwise. That's also very, very important point. We should understand where do we, how we do, and how we don't do all this. And I think it's question of how much energy do you use with people. That is a question mark in how much energy I use with you and you use with me. And is that energy futile or fertile? I don't care about that, because energy is energy. It never goes waste. It's always useful, and that is where we stand with. And that's point we have to understand very clearly in this world of people, and world of universe and earth. Earth is real part of this universe, and we'll talk of this later on also. Civil engineering is not limited to structures only. It's limited to construction. It's limited to many other subjects, and in ultimate way it's related to humanity. It's related to existence of humanity, and that's more is related to life, is related to death, is related to everything, many generations. So this engineering is very, very different subject. We must be very careful about this. We cannot simply just cut into pieces and say, no, this is what I say is right, or this is what you say is not right. There's no competition as such. I don't believe in that kind of competition, because it's a result of your mind. Your mind is very dynamic, possibly more dynamic than what I have, or my mind may be shallow one, your may be deep one. It depends. So we can say that it's a mutual agreement or mutual consent, you may say. It's mutual. Everything is mutual in this world. It's not simply what I say is right. You can justify, I have to accept that. That is life. Life is not simply involved in ages. It's involved in profession. It's involved everywhere, and that is where we have to bear with each other. So today's summary is that we have talked very common about this title, about civil, about construction, about organizations, and about quality in very, very brief momentum, you can say. And ultimate talk was what is engineering actually. First we have to understand engineering, only then we can understand what is engineering quality, what is engineering design, what is engineering site, and what are people involved in engineering. And that is very important point. everybody has to understand, and without understanding of which we cannot move further. And really speaking, I like to share my views with you. It is my views only, it's nothing else. Means I'm not saying I'm expert of something. You cannot measure expertise in terms of experience or in terms of something. Everybody is different and everything is different, and that is what life about. If you have to understand life, you have to have patience, you have to have some absorption power as well, some offending power as well. And offending in a sense that you can refute something you don't accept. You have full liberty to that, you have full right to that. Nobody stops you from that one. And well, I think what I said, I'm not exactly saying what I said is right or wrong, but what is said is right or wrong is not a question here. Question is how much we can do something, and that is very important point. So what I say now, it's almost 3 hours over, and I shall be thankful to you, and I'll be happy that you come back and we talk together again. And with this, I would take leave now, and I would say let us close this, and we'll meet again possibly anytime today or tomorrow, and we see, because I cannot sit anymore further. And let me close this and thank you very much for being with me. If you are, will be later on. And now I'm going to close this with this all this. Thank you very much. Bye bye.